Tonight I want to share with you the smallest practice I have ever taught, and the one that has changed more lives than any other. I want to tell you about 3 breaths. Not 3 breaths in some advanced meditation, not 3 breaths inside a temple, 3 breaths in the half-second between hearing something and saying something back, 3 breaths before you answer your wife when she asks why you came home late, 3 breaths before you reply to your boss in an email, 3 breaths before you tell your son that no, you do not have time tonight. If you do nothing else with the next 15 minutes of your life, do this. Listen to me explain the practice and then go practice it once today, not all day, just once before the next conversation that matters. I am Master Anshin. I have spent more than 40 years studying breath, herbs, rhythm, and rest in the bamboo groves and the mountain temples of the East. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am a man who has watched what happens to a body when the mouth runs ahead of the mind, and a man who has watched what happens to a marriage, to a friendship, to a son when one person learns to slow down by 3 breaths. This is the quiet path. Tonight, the practice that almost no one knows and almost no one needs to learn for very long. Let me start with what most modern teachers do not tell you about the human body. When you hear something that the body reads as a threat, even a small threat like an irritated tone, even a frustrated email, your nervous system fires before your mind notices. Your jaw tightens, your breath shortens, your shoulders rise an inch. The body has already decided what is going to happen next, and it has decided in about 200 milliseconds. Long before you have the words ready, your body has chosen the temperature of the next sentence. This is not a flaw. This is 2 million years of survival. When our ancestors lived in the forest, the body that reacted in 200 milliseconds was the body that lived. The body that paused was the body that got eaten. But the body has not yet realized that the forest is gone. The body still treats your spouse as a tiger. It still treats your manager as a tiger. It still treats the 17 open tabs in your browser as a tiger. So all day long, the body fires, and all day long, your mouth runs ahead of your mind. And at the end of the day, you wonder why you are so tired. You are tired because you have been at war with strangers all day. Strangers who were not really tigers, but the body did not know. 3 breaths is the practice that interrupts the timing. 3 breaths reaches into the gap between hearing and reacting and slows it down just long enough for the part of you that is wise to step in front of the part of you that is wounded. Here is what I want you to do. The next time someone says something to you that lands a little wrong, or asks you something that makes your chest tighten, or simply expects a reply from you in a moment when you do not have one ready, do this. Take a breath in for 4 counts. Hold it gently for 1. Let it out for 8. Then take a second breath the same way. In for 4. Hold 1. Out for 8. Then a third. That is the whole practice. 3 breaths, 20 seconds at most. Most people will not notice that you took them. The conversation will continue, but everything that happens next will happen from a different room inside of you. Now let me tell you why each piece matters. The 4-count inhale is short and steady. It is not a deep gasp. It is not a yoga breath where you puff out your chest. It is a soft inhale, the way you might breathe if you were watching something beautiful happen. The kind of breath you take when you forget you are breathing. The 1-count hold is not really a hold, it is a pause, a small acknowledgement between in and out, like the moment between 2 notes of a song. Without it, the breath is just movement. With it, the breath becomes attention. The 8-count exhale is the medicine. The exhale is the body's natural off switch. The vagus nerve, which runs from your brain down to your gut, is activated by long, slow exhales. When the exhale is twice the length of the inhale, the body switches from fight or flight into rest and digest. The tiger walks away. You can think clearly again. The next word you choose will be a different word than the one you almost said. This is not Buddhism. This is biology. The monks discovered it 2,500 years ago because they were paying attention to their own bodies in silence for a long time. Modern science confirmed it about 30 years ago, but the monks were right first, and they did not need a research paper to know. 3 breaths is enough because 3 is the number of times the body needs to receive the same signal before it trusts it. 1 slow exhale is a suggestion, 2 is a question, 3 is a decision. After 3, the body believes that the threat has passed. After 3, you can speak. Now I want to tell you what the practice does not do. It does not give you the perfect sentence. It does not solve the conflict in front of you. It does not make the difficult conversation easy. Anyone who tells you a breathing practice will do those things is selling you something. What 3 breaths does is much smaller and much more important. It puts the wise part of you in charge of the next 30 seconds of your life. Whatever you say next, you will say from a place of choice instead of a place of reaction. You may still say something hard. You may still say something honest. You may still say something firm. But you will say it on purpose, instead of saying it because a tiger that is not really there told you to. When I was a young monk in a Burmese monastery, my teacher gave me one instruction. He said, every morning before you speak your first word of the day, take 3 breaths. He did not explain why. He just said it and walked away. I followed the instruction for 40 years before I fully understood what he had handed me. The first word of the day sets the tone for every word after it. If you wake up and immediately speak from a tense body, the rest of the day will be spent trying to recover that ground. If you wake up and your first word comes after 3 breaths, you will spend the rest of the day teaching everyone around you without any of them knowing what calm sounds like. I will tell you one story before we close. A woman came to see me many years ago. She was a senior leader at a large company. She told me that her marriage was ending because she had become a person who interrupted her husband, even when she did not mean to. She loved him. She did not know why she could not stop. She had tried a therapist. She had tried a coach. She had tried a book. Nothing had worked. I asked her to do one thing. 3 breaths before any word she said to him, just for 1 week, not all day, just when she spoke to him. She came back 3 weeks later. She did not say much. She bowed and she said, "He told me last night that he feels heard for the first time in 7 years." Then she cried for a while. I did not say anything. There was nothing to say. The breath had done the work. So tonight, when you finish listening to this, I want to ask one thing of you. Find the next conversation that matters. It might be small. It might be at dinner. It might be a text message you owe someone. Before you speak the next sentence, before you type the next reply, take 3 breaths. 4 in, 1 pause, 8 out, 3 times. Then say what you were going to say. Notice the difference, not in them, in you. You will know what to do from there. The path is already inside of you. It has always been inside of you. You only have to remember it 3 breaths at a time. Thank you for listening to The Quiet Path. If this practice resonated, you can read more in my book, The Quiet Path, available at masteranshin.clickdrop.online. Tomorrow night I will see you again. Until then, sit, breathe, listen.